uniting communities throughout the sticks. This is Urban Definition with your hosts Sassan, Kareem, and Zayn on CHHA 1610.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to another week of Urban Definition. Today is August the 3rd, 2016, and yes, we are still up and running. Guys, before we start the show, there is a severe heat warning in effect, so hopefully all of our listeners at home, if you're in a car or at home, please make sure to keep cool, turn that AC on, or roll that window down to get whatever breeze there is. As per usual, I'm joined in studio by my co-hosts, Mr. Zayn Jinnah, what up?
Hey, what up, everybody?
And Mr. Sassan Mirzai.
Hey, guys.
I love Sassan. Sassan always has that cheery intro. He's always like, hey, guys, what's going on? What up? Just Pokemoning?
What? That's not what I'm doing at all.
He probably is.
What? I was turning my phone off. Oh, my gosh.
How's your week been, guys?
Oh, it's been pretty good. You know, with the long weekend, can't complain. That extra day off.
Yeah, it's that 4-day week we're living in this week, yo. It's good.
Yeah, I thought today was Tuesday, so I was like, oh, shoot. It's actually the radio station today.
I don't know about you, but I went to KFC and they shut me down. I was like, what you talking about? I'm here for my Toonie Tuesday. They're like, nope, get out. It's a Wednesday.
You actually do that? That's ridiculous.
Hey, man, Toonie Tuesday was like a big thing growing. Come on, you
Well,
guys.
growing up, yeah, but you
That
still
was-
do it?
No, that was a big thing in my household, too. I'm with you there, Kareem.
No, the worst part is when they jacked it up. They went from Toonie Tuesday to $2.10 or $2.12 or
Oh,
something.
no, tax.
I was like, what is this foolishness?
Yo, that adds up, man.
It does.
I guess if you go there like 10 times, but whatever.
So, what's going on in the world, guys?
Oh, how was your weekend, man?
Oh, weekend times. We're talking weekend still, eh? So, let's see. This weekend was Caravana weekend, to which I went to 0 events because what I did is I packed my stuff and I got up out of the city, unfortunately. I went to the cottage for the weekend and I got my Sea-Doo on and I also got my shingles on. And no, I'm not talking about that really awful, terrible disease. I'm talking about literally installing shingles in a roof.
Okay, because I was going to ask. I was going to be like, that's not... Are you sure you should be here right now?
Yeah, no,
Are
that'd
we
be...
protected, Seth? Do you have a vaccination? Like,
Right here.
That's a rough life right there if you got shingles. Oh, man. I feel bad for you.
Totally forgot you bought a Sea-Doo.
Yeah, man. It's totally, yeah, it's a totally dope.
Living the
thing-
rich life.
No, not even. It's, you know what's weird though is that like the old Sea-Doo had a flat bottom
Okay.
and this one has a V-shape. Sorry, a V-shaped bottom.
Oh, so it goes faster.
Sure. Or every time I go to make a turn, I feel like I'm gonna die because there's like no stability. Before it was like with a flat bottom, I just kind of sail across the water.
Oh, I thought the flat bottom would make it like bounce on the water like your body slamming it nonstop.
A little bit, but it's still pretty dope.
Oh.
Except with the V-shaped bottom, I feel like I'm gonna just tumble over.
Like a motorcycle.
Especially when I'm going like 200 miles an hour. I feel like any little turn, I'm just gonna be like. Brrr.
Sea-Doos go 200 miles per hour?
I went 216.
What?
Wow. Yeah, it was fun times, man. Except for the rocks. You gotta watch out for those rocks.
Oh my gosh.
that sounds fun and dangerous, and something I really wish I want to do now.
I am not Tyrone Biggums from Dave Chappelle. I do not mess with those rocks.
Don't do that.
What else did I do? Oh, this weekend I also took part in a regatta, which is a huge volleyball tournament up north. And out of the 25 teams, my team came in 3rd. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah, congratulations, man.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was fun.
Hey, 3 out of 25, that's a good finishing spot right there.
I don't know. Every time I think about sports, I'm always reminded of that Nelly song.
You got to be number one.
What does it take to be number 1? 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. Hey, well.
And since then, Kareem's been living his life trying to be number one in every single thing.
What do you know about that life, yo?
Pokemon Go, I got to be number one.
Oh, man. Well, hopefully, and we will get to this a little bit later, but hopefully our guest today will have way better lyrics than me, and a way better rap voice, and a way better singing voice than me.
I would think so. I think so. We got a rapper coming on later today, so that's good.
We got a rapper. Check that life out.
Candy
life.
wrapper.
But before we get to that and what's going on in the world, how about you guys? What did you guys do this weekend?
Oh man, well I enjoyed OVO Fest this weekend, all throughout the weekend. Saturday, I didn't get to go to the Caravana festivities, but I went to the Machel Montano concert afterwards at TD Echo Beach.
Okay, stop. Say that name again, please.
Machel Montano.
Macho Montano.
Machel.
Machel.
So how do you say it?
Macho.
That's what I said, Machel.
No, you went like macho.
I didn't say
What do you say,
Did I say
Sassan?
Machel?
Yeah, he said Nacho.
What? All right, we're going to rewind that tape later.
Zane, you're not Trini.
I didn't think I was.
No. I think Zane does that voice every so often. Hashtag roasted.
You also like write like that now too on your Instagram.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Them be fighting words. All right, but continue about your amazing festival weekend.
Well, it's pretty much just the concerts. Sean Paul was a guest, which was really nice. I had no idea he was going to be there. And then, of course, on, what was it, Sunday? Yeah, Sunday was Drake, which was a good performance. First time going to OVO, so no disappointments for me because I had nothing to expect. Rihanna came out as a guest, and honestly, it was just like one of the most crazy live performances, I should say, that I've ever seen. Just because, it's a hometown guy coming back here, giving us such a good show, and you almost feel a sense of pride watching him being able to perform all these songs that everyone knows, and it's about us. And it was great because at the end of the show, he said, what's the great thing about Toronto is that you come here and you see people of, and I paraphrase, all different faces, all different races, and from all different places. And it really spoke to the diversity of the city, and it's just a really beautiful thing to remember that, like, we're Canadian, we're different, and we really celebrate our diversity, and that's a lot of what I saw this weekend. How about you,
Mr. Sassafras?
Well, my friend Sally came back from BC, so I wanted to show her the ferry docks, because that's kind of like a new thing that's happening in Toronto where everyone's coming to take pictures of what's going on. Because it's just all Pokemon trainers just on their phones playing, and it's ridiculous.
Okay, hold on.
I saw that on Sunday night, actually, going down to Harborfront, and there's like 200 to 300 people just playing Pokemon Go. There's like 9 lures going around. It was nuts.
So,
Crazy.
just as a quick note, Sass, are we talking about the ferry docks in Tech Talk today?
Well, there is no tech talk today.
Or are we? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I can absolutely do this then.
Yes, you can.
So there has been an official submission to the developers of Pokemon Go to permanently remove all the beacons at the ferry docks
Yep.
because people are not taking care of it. There's garbage thrown everywhere. People are not being respectful of those who are actually trying to get onto the ferries. People are smoking things that are not necessarily legal and cigarettes at the ferry docks, and it's getting out of hand. So my message to all of our Pokemon Go Toronto peeps be, y'all messed it up for us. Why you gotta do that?
And honestly, it's kind of disgusting how they wanted to clean it up, because instead of asking the entire community to go and pick up the garbage and like set up an event to go and do it, Team Mystic did it in their own group and said, hey, we're going to be the best team in Toronto and we're going to have our own cleanup day instead of bringing everyone to do it.
That's one thing I've noticed about this app is that they do a really great job at, like, maybe not in Toronto. Yeah, I'm shots at you people. But in the States, for example, there was an autistic child, I believe it was a couple days ago, who he was getting bullied. And I guess the sister had posted on their local, I think it might have been Arizona or something, Facebook page, basically being like, guys, let's try to band together. And instead of people just sending support, they were like, hey, let's all take him and go Pokemon together.
Yeah, and they got him a giant Pikachu plushie.
Yeah, they got him
$200.
That's big money.
That's wicked, though.
For those of you who don't know, Sassan recently purchased a Pikachu at the Build-A-Bear workshop, which I'm sure a lot of you guys saw last week when we posted Pikachu in our picture.
I actually bought it like months ago because that thing sold out so quick. It was ridiculous.
All right, if you don't mind me asking, how much was that Pikachu?
It's only $30. It's Build-A-Bear.
Oh, okay, yeah. Fair enough. And you got to stuff it.
But it was limited edition, so
right.
Once they're out, they're gone.
So in a year's time, that Pikachu can be sold for
nothing. It's a Pikachu. What are you talking about?
Come on, we're looking for some like money value here, man.
If I didn't stuff it, maybe it'd be worth a lot.
Really?
Probably.
I didn't know that.
Because collectors are kind of like that.
Oh yeah, collectors are weird like
You know,
that.
people will collect anything these days.
So what's going on in the world?
Oh well, have you been keeping up with the American politics?
Is it bad that for a second I thought he was gonna ask, "Have you been keeping up with the Kardashians?"
Oh God, no.
I've never seen that show in my life, and I'm kind of glad.
Neither have I.
I was
I'm never
scared.
planning to.
Because he stopped. He paused. He went, "Have you guys been keeping up with the politics, American politics?" And I was like, "The Kardashians, the Kardashians, the Kardashians."
Wait. But why talk about politicians? We should be really talking about Rio Olympics that are starting this Friday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's true.
The water, if you drink 3 teaspoons, you're automatically sick, and the air there kills thousands of people every year. So this is kind of devastating.
Why are they still holding the Olympics there then?
Out of all the athletes that are taking part, the only two that I'm kind of shocked that are actually going
Yeah.
are Usain Bolt and Michael Phelps.
Oh, crap.
And those are the two that they're basically building this Olympics around, because two of them, they're the only two big guys that are basically have the opportunity to make like Olympic history.
But what about like all the NBA teams? I know they're staying in like luxury cruise liners.
Yeah, but I mean that's an entire team. But cause remember, okay, Michael Phelps
Yeah.
wins another gold. He basically becomes the
He sets a record.
yeah, he sets the record for like athlete with the most gold medals.
Yeah.
And Usain Bolt is an everyday record setter. This man is just bananas. I was looking at his diet plan. This was last year actually. I was looking at it, and he consumes something ridiculous, like 6 yams per day,
What? I don't know what that means.
like 6 sweet potatoes.
Oh, 6 yams.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I heard gams. I'm like, I don't know what gams are.
Yeah,
but
that's why I had no idea what you're talking about.
hey,
I
whatever
don't
he's
know.
eating, it's making him real fast.
Yo, I'm telling you.
But the internet's being really hilarious about the whole situation because they're like, Australia's winning the Olympics. And I was like, wait, what? The Olympics started? And I look at like that little chart they show that shows all the medals everyone has?
Yeah.
For Australia, it says 12 gold medals in theft.
Oh my! Wow.
Wait, what?
'Cause
Wow.
12 people who were like staying at their whatever, what's it called? Their hotel?
Yeah,
or
sure.
whatever. It caught fire. And instead of firemen going in, thieves ran in and stole their stuff and ran out.
That's a fantastic story.
That's
I
devastating.
know, this is the worst Olympics ever.
It was pegged to be the worst Olympics ever since the Zika virus broke through, and there was all that controversy of, is it safe to go? And then the whole safety operations people, the policemen and the firemen come in and saying, "Oh, welcome to hell."
Oh, right, I remember that.
That's terrible.
I don't think this Olympics is going to go very well, but I'm eager to see what happens with it.
I'm interested to see what happens as well. It'll be interesting. I don't think I'm actually going to watch, though. I'll probably PVR it and watch it like 6 months later.
Oh, I'm definitely not going to watch it. I just want to know what happens.
Yeah, I don't want to support it at all.
Yeah. And on that note, Zayn, tell us what we have to look forward to after the break.
All right, well, after the break, we got our guest, Jordan Ray, coming on. He's a rapper, and he'll be coming on, and we're going to get to know him really, really well. Stay tuned, and we'll be back after the break.
This is Urban Definition. Urban Definition. On CHHA 1610.
Welcome back, guys. That was a really short commercial break.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Why are they getting even shorter?
I don't know.
Anyways, we got our guest with us, Jordan Ray. This guy's a rapper from Toronto, originally from India, but moved here when he was a young child, from what he told us before. And without any further introduction, Jordan Ray, everyone.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good. That was probably the most fluid intro into and it was funny because I initially didn't have his mic on, and I just got it on in time. It was fantastic.
Perfect timing, man.
Because usually Zayn has this really methodical script.
Oh yeah, he always prepares a giant paragraph explaining who he is, but we're gonna talk about him. Come on, Zayn.
Yeah, I didn't have a script this time. I was just like, you know what? Here he is.
Actually, I won't. It was very interesting. The moment because Sassan and I didn't have much of an intro because we had to deal with a plethora of things over the past, I'd say, weekend, and unfortunately, we didn't have the opportunity to talk to you and connect beforehand. And I guess Zayn had, right?
Yeah, I called him yesterday actually.
Yeah, we talked for about half an hour. Yeah.
Half an hour?
Yeah.
That, like, exceeds interview time and just kind of goes into, like, girl talk.
Yeah, we trailed off into a few things.
So, let's start from the beginning. And Zayn said you moved here from India.
Yeah, so I moved here. I was born there, and I moved here when I was 7.
We're in India.
Bombay.
Oh.
Yeah.
So for those who don't know, that would be considered...
It's like west.
Is that west?
West,
Okay, I would
yeah.
see. I didn't even know. I thought it was like north.
That's
No,
like
that's
the
like-
only
that-
city I know in India. So
And that's not even where, like, the most iconic place is in India, too.
really, like in every movie when they talk about India, it's like Bombay.
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Yeah, because when I was out in India, I guess it was Agra for beaches and... Goa for beaches,
Yeah,
Agra
yeah.
for the Taj Mahal.
Still have no idea what those things are except the Taj Mahal.
So how old were you when you moved here?
I moved here when I was 7. I literally turned 8 the next day.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was an interesting birthday.
And where did you move to?
Toronto. So not Saga.
Okay, so,
So-
Mississauga.
I was living like the Square One area
Okay.
in an apartment, and then I eventually moved down to Meadowville.
Meadowville. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like all over the GTA.
Yeah.
This guy reps hard. He's all over the map, eh? And it's funny because you have a SoundCloud profile, and that's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
I was able to connect with a bit of your stuff in there. And the comments that people leave are just, I think it's like, this guy's lit. He's dope. This man's lighting up tracks. I was like, whoa. And then to hear Zayn say he's from India even puts me in more of a shock because I guess hip hop culture is hip hop culture
It's-
big in India?
It's not like I visited about like a couple of times after I moved here. Once when I was 12, and once again when I was 17.
Okay.
And when I was 17, that's when I guess I was more exposed to a lot more different things, just because I like a lot of my cousins lived there, so I went out with them and I was hanging out with them in like the different areas and just like introduced to all their friends, seeing what their interests are and things like that. But I feel like they're more into like more like pop or like EDM and things like that. So it's not too much hip hop in there.
See, I've heard that because I've heard that people who go to India, they go and they visit the nightlife and stuff, and they're like, man, the clubs there are really posh, and like the nightlife is crazy, and it's not what you would stereotypically think of an Indian city.
Yeah, no, it's very much as urban as it gets here. It's just that their musical tastes could be a little different.
That's true. So because of that, and because, well, the culture itself isn't really that of hip hop, at what point would you say was like your introduction? Like, what's your fond memory of your introduction into the hip hop life?
Grade 4.
Okay.
Grade 4. I listened to the Eminem show.
Oh.
A friend of mine, I think we were in class, and it was one of those. I think it was like an indoor lunch period or something like that, and they had like the radio, like the old radios with the CD player.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So one of those. I think we were playing like Game Boy or something like that, and then a friend of mine brought like the Eminem show, like the CD, to school, and he's like, "Yo, listen to this, right?" And I'm like, "Okay, whatever. Like, I don't really care, but I'm just playing my Game Boy here." And he played it, and then like the first few songs, I was just like, "Whoa!" Like whoever, like I didn't know Eminem at the time, and I was just like, "Yo, this guy is crazy talented," and I just kept listening to the music over and over again,
So
and that's how I kind of got into it.
So let's be honest here. A white guy rapping
Yeah.
is not necessarily in the 90s at that. It doesn't exactly resonate as like the original hip hop culture, right?
Yeah, not really, but I mean, like, just it's his skill level alone that just speaks for himself.
And that's what I was going to ask. Was what was it about hearing Eminem? Because don't get me wrong, Eminem is easily like top 3, if not top 5 MC rappers of like all time in my book.
Fair
But we'll
enough,
we'll get to your list a little bit later.
Okay.
But for me, yeah. So it was just the fact of his level of fluidity and just how amazing his lyrics were.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then on the flip side of that, I mean, a lot of what Eminem raps about how did his lyrics, or what he did rap about, how did that kind of resonate with you in terms of personal?
It was just like the different stories he had to tell. Like, some of his stuff would be more comedic, some of it would be more serious. just as he was able to dabble into so many different aspects of it, which was pretty cool for me. And then after listening to him and like 50 Cent and like the whole like Shady Records people at the time, I suddenly like switched over into like this whole rock phase because I started playing the drums.
Oh.
Yeah, and then
So is the drum something that you kind of had from home that you kind of carried over and built on when you came to Canada?
no, in my family we kind of have a rule where all the kids kind of have to learn an instrument, and it's not just like my intermediate family. It's like it comes from my dad's family, his side, and all his siblings have to learn an instrument. So he told me when I was 10 that I had to pick an instrument and learn it. So I'm like, all right. So I picked up the drums, and I started learning that. And just because of the type of instrument it was, I got more into rock music at the time.
All right, so you're a grade 4 kid playing Game Boy, listening to Eminem, playing the drums. How did you go from being and a rock fan at that?
Yeah.
And please tell me at least one of those was like Chili Peppers.
No, well, it was more like classic rock at the time. So
Oh,
I was
okay,
listening,
so-
I was
this
listening to
guy's
like Guns
going-
N' Roses, Metallica, and things like that.
He's going like real rock.
Yeah,
So-
it was, and especially because like the whole like Guitar Hero thing was going crazy at the time too. This was like I'm fast forwarding now to like when I was like 12, right? So like Guitar Hero was going crazy, and everyone was all about that. So that's how I guess I got influenced by the whole rock scene.
So tell us the journey then from how you went from rock into becoming a lyrical MC, if you will.
Yeah, so one day I was on YouTube, and one of the recommended you know how they have like that recommended for you,
Of course.
right? So one of them was a really, really old video of Eminem and 50 Cent performing, and I'm like, yo, I used to be into these guys. Like, I used to listen to them all the time. Let me check it out. So I listened to it, and I'm like, I fell back in love with it all over again. And I started re-downloading a bunch of hip-hop, less rock, and then eventually just became mainly all hip-hop and no rock. And then I started getting into like the new school artists like Kendrick, Drake, J. Cole, and that's how I kind of started. Well, like before even them, once I started downloading hip hop again, just listening to it again, I started writing my own lyrics, and I'm like, okay, let me try doing this myself. And I started doing it in high school, and eventually I became that kid that people would be like, oh yeah, he's the guy that raps, right? So like, so whenever I post something on like Facebook, something like, oh yeah, you're the guy that raps, let me check it out. And a lot of people end up liking it.
So what was your point where you went from being, I guess, transforming from a consumer into a producer?
Okay, so I guess that was just at a point. It was like more like a random thing. Like, let me just try it out and see if I could do it. And I did it for fun at the time, and when I first started. And then once I started college, before that I was going under like a stage name called Concept. And then once I started college, I wanted to take it more seriously. So I changed my stage name to Jordan Ray, which is literally my first name and my middle name, right? And it's a more serious name. It sounds like an artist's name. And that's when I started taking it seriously. That's when I started just trying to be a professional at what I do.
And what made you take it seriously in college? Like, was there any one thing that you were like, okay, you know what, Concept is not bad, but I got to take this. But like, what changed that for you?
I found that there was like a bunch of other artists with like in the States with names like Concept and just generic hip hop names, if you will, like that. I did this contest that my school was having where it was you like post a video on the school's website, on the school student union website, and whoever got the most votes got to open for Sunreal and Rich Kid.
Okay.
I am a huge fan of both, by the way. I have both. I have like their original album.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, man. I'm a huge Sunreal fan.
So sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right, no. So, so just I posted the videos up, and whoever got the most votes ended up winning, right? So, so I ended up winning the contest, and that kind of gave me like the whole motivation to be like, yo, maybe I can do this, right? I mean, like I won a contest, and I got to open up for these two, right? So that's when I started taking it more seriously and just my music seriously in general.
So my last question, I guess, going into commercial break, and I mean, you're not going anywhere. You're back after the break because we're going to continue talking. But my question before the break is, given your transformation and your journey, at this point, what does hip hop? First of all, what does hip hop mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think hip hop means as a culture?
I feel like to me, hip hop is an expression of myself. I use it as a way to tell people what I want in life, what I aim for, and that's just me because I rap and I'm more on the lyrical side, right? But as a culture, hip hop has like breakdancing, DJing, graffiti, and then just MCing, right? So those are like the four main pinnacles of hip hop. So that's what the whole culture is made up of, and anytime I see someone that anything like that, I always support it.
That's funny. Usually during this time slot, we have a little segment that we call Real Talk.
Yeah.
And what you just said there covers just that. Real talk.
Yeah.
So that was pretty dope. And it is true. And it's really good to see that, there's a lot of MCs out there who are able to identify what hip hop was and what it is now. And I really like that. And we're going to continue this conversation after the break. Stay tuned, guys. We'll be back after the break.
This is Urban Definition.
Welcome back to Urban Definition, everyone. Right now we have Jordan Ray with us. He's an up-and-coming rapper from Toronto. So, Jordan, so far before the break, you talked to us about where you're from, how you got into hip-hop, and what hip-hop means to you.
Uh-huh.
So what I want to ask you is, what do you want to do with hip-hop now? Like, where do you want to go with your music?
That's kind of my next step that's actually been on my mind. Like, right now, what I've been doing is just putting on music on SoundCloud, sharing it with people, performing wherever I can perform. I feel like I want to get my name known more across the city. I want to branch out and work with other artists. Like, I've collabed with a few people. I've collabed with an artist in New Orleans. I've collabed with an artist in New Jersey. A couple artists in LA. And now I want to keep collabing with people, more so people in the city, just so I can just build connections and things like that.
It's funny though, because like we had an artist a few weeks ago by the name of Eris, and the same thing. He collaborated with a lot of international artists, and maybe it's just me, and I'd like to get your take on this in terms of internal collaborations. So seeing a lot of Canadian artists collaborating with each other is almost something that's not really seen these days within the hip-hop community.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, on my Instagram, I usually get people messaging me about, like, oh, let's collab, let's do this, let's do that, like, let's make music together. And I'd say 9 out of 10 people are either from the States or from another country, but it's like the 1 or 2 out of 10 that would be from Canada.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's weird.
And why would that be exactly? Like, do you know anyone from Toronto who is trying to come up and rap?
Yeah, like I know a few people. Like I have a few friends that in like the hip hop community that do music. Some are open to collabs, some aren't. I know I'm talking to a couple of artists in the GTA who about collabs, but it all depends. It's weird. It's a tricky thing because it all depends on their time schedule, if we can get into the studio together, if we're gonna gel on a track together. There's so many factors to collabing with someone.
So how do you determine that then? Someone messages you and says, "Hey, let's be on a track together." Mm-hmm. How do you respond to that, and like, what do you do?
The first thing I do is ask if I can check out their music, just so I can kind of get a feel of their sound.
Okay.
And if I feel like I like their music, and if I feel like their sound is suitable to like a track that I'm doing or like a track that I want to do, then I'm down for it.
Do you guys meet up for like coffee or something beforehand?
Well, like if it's international, it's usually like just like over text or like just over Instagram DM or something like that.
Okay.
It goes down in the DM.
Slide into DMs, why not?
So, this hasn't exactly been an easy journey for you.
Nah, not at all. Just being an artist of Indian descent in the hip hop industry. I mean, like, you're not really seen as like stereotypical artist, right? Or like hip hop artist.
And that's how come I initially asked you about in terms of listening to a white rapper. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, you're a brown rapper.
Yeah.
I guess this is sort of the downside of it, but what's been some of the kickback that you've received, and how have you learned to deal with it?
Usually like just by like someone like will just like look at me and they won't expect like me to be an artist or something like that, right? But then when I perform, like I remember like the first few shows I did, like just open mics and things like that. And when I got on the stage, people would be like, oh, like you know that look, right? Like that, like, oh, I don't know if he's gonna be good or not. And then by the end of it, when I actually performed, they're like cheering and stuff like that. So it's like you kind of got to show them just through what you do and just do you.
True say.
Have you ever like decided to maybe make a music video for YouTube? Maybe that way people will see you first.
Yeah, I've done a few. I'm working on a few more now. I have a couple on my YouTube right now. It's just youtube.com/JordanRayMusic. But we're planning on working on a lot more.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And because, well, you've touched on SoundCloud, you touched on YouTube, but I guess my next question has to be, how has digital media played a role in your pursuit for success?
It's played a big role just because, like, just Instagram, for example, that's Instagram, Snapchat. That's how I'm able to share my music. Like, if I'm working on a new track and I want people to like get a glimpse of it, I'll Snapchat like the 10 seconds and be like, yo, what do you guys think? Or like I'll do the same for Instagram. Like, I remember I put out this one 10-second snippet on my Instagram, and it ended up, like, a lot of people ended up liking it. It ended up getting like 80 comments on it or something like that, and people just saying like, yo, let me collab with you, yo, this is sick, like things like that. So when I see that and it's like just like some positive reinforcement, I'm like, okay, let me just continue with this track. I'm gonna make this track.
True.
Yeah.
This isn't exactly rapping and hip hop, but have you ever heard of a DJ by the name of DJ Baba Khan?
No, I haven't.
So Baba Khan, he's not a rapper. He doesn't rap or anything. He's just he DJs, I guess, like Bollywood music with like hip hop influence and Latino music and stuff like that.
Okay.
So the reason I brought that up is because have you considered, or have you in the past maybe tried to throw in some, cultural representation within your music?
To be honest, I haven't, just because I came from a family where we were never really that, I guess, Indian. So like we're Indian, but we're not in a way. You know what I mean? Like, just like the way we are.
So you're not filling out the stereotype?
Yeah, I'm not. Like, my uncle's name is like Earl. You know what I mean? Like, come on, it doesn't get any less Indian.
That's fair, actually.
Yeah.
So
I mean, like, I feel like I'm not being me if I'm suddenly trying to fill like an Indian stereotype, which I actually don't have. Like,
Now, is that more so a cultural thing coming here, or is that something that you've kind of developed here? Like, I know in India there's a huge Anglo-Indian culture.
yeah.
Which is, the fact that when the English were down there was Catholicism, and, kids grew up with names like Elvis and Dorothy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And is that something that kind of you went through in India before you came to Canada?
Yeah, like I'm born and raised Catholic. So, and then even in my home back in India, we would, like, English would be the first language at home, right? And then, like, you'd have to learn like Hindi or something like that at school.
And that is a common misconception because a lot of people think, oh, you came from India, you must have spoke one of the 26 languages.
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But
So,
I mean, really, because I actually used to teach in India, and I was shocked when I discovered that the international language in India, like the first is English.
yeah.
And like, there's a lot of schools, and like you said, like kids will go to school, the whole school is taught in English, and they have one class to teach them, Tamil or teach them Hindi or Bengali and stuff like that.
Yeah, and like sometimes, like, I'll, like, for example, I'll be at like the mall or something, and like this Indian guy will come up to me, and he thinks I know what I'm talking, like, I know the language, right?
Right.
So he'll speak to me in like Hindi, asking for directions, and I'm like, fam, I have no idea what you're saying. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it happens to me a lot.
yeah, we can relate to that.
Oh, it's happened many a time to us.
One guy stopped me on the street with an umbrella. He's about to hit me. He goes, Ali? I was like, no, that's not me. That's another guy.
I think he was looking for me.
Maybe, I don't know. So you're really fighting the stereotype here. That's good. So then, actually, from before, what you're saying, you get on stage and people, at first they're kind of skeptical, and then they come back. How good does that feel? Because it seems like for them, they've already set their own bar low for you.
Yeah, no, it feels amazing. Like, just breaking barriers in general. Always trying to prove myself to others, and always try to set the bar higher for myself.
And then what's
It's
it like
amazing.
saying that you're from Toronto now?
It's
Or
like
the GTA or wherever?
it's sick, like, especially since I spent most of my life here now. Like, I was only there for 7 years, and then now I'm 23, right? So
Yeah.
I've been here for the majority of my life. So I refer to like the GTA as my home, right? Like this is where I'm from. I can't really, like, I'm technically from India, but I can't really say I'm from there because like my culture is so much from here.
Now, with Toronto hip hop and specifically, the way it's going right now, I mean, you see, artists up and coming, like you have Alyssa Cara from Brampton, you got The Weeknd from Scarborough, you got Drake from Toronto, you got Justin Bieber in Stratford. I mean, that's kind of a stretch, but you have artists up and coming. You know, they're doing things on an international stage. You know, how does that influence what you do as trying to get your name out there?
To be honest, it makes me want to do whatever I can do to get to that level. I went to OVO last weekend, and just seeing artists like Roy Woods, for example, and Roy Woods' Division, and just seeing them perform in front of the Air Canada Centre was just crazy. Like, they're just opening acts, but like the reception they're getting is just amazing. And I want to do whatever I can do to share my music with people, to share positive, like a message of positivity with people, and just good vibes with people.
Okay.
I love how he always every so like I think this is the second time he's done this now, where he starts talking and I just start reminiscing and like really vibing with what he's saying, and I forget that we're talking, and I'm just like he's saying something. I'm sitting here and I'm like nodding my head. I'm like, yeah, man, like yeah, absolutely. And then I realize I should probably respond to what he's saying. But well, we've touched on a lot, and we've touched on kind of where you're going, where you're at. When we do, well, in the next segment after the break, you will be introducing a track that you have produced yourself. But before we get to that, I did have some real world questions for you.
Okay.
And when I say real world, I'm talking we're gonna go straight up the top. Ready? All right. Hip hop or R&B?
Both. I'm influenced by both, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay. Most influential Canadian rapper or artist? Canadian.
Just because I've been to OVO Fest twice in the last weekend, Drake.
All right.
Wait, twice?
Yeah, no, I ended up, I was supposed to only go on the Sunday, but I ended up going the Monday too because my girlfriend wanted to go on the Monday, and then the Sunday went with my friend.
How has family played a role in your continued pursuit?
They've been supportive. I remember when I built like a studio in my house, right? My dad was the one that made trips with me to Rona to get like the supplies. He was the one that helped me build it. He literally spent hours and hours just like, because he knows how passionate I am with it, right? So he just took the time to help me. He even invited friends over to help that he knew who could help. So they've been pretty supportive. Was
there ever a point where you said, nah, I'm done?
There's been points where I tried to say that, but I was telling Terrence over here that I was telling him the same thing in the car on the way here, that there's been times where I wanted to say that, and for some reason I just can't. It's something I like physically can't stop doing because I know I'm always going to be drawn back to it.
Greatest source of motivation?
Yeah, my greatest source of motivation, being able to provide for my parents and paying off their house, for example, just giving them as much back as they were able to give for me.
Greatest detrimental factor?
I would bring back the whole detrimental factor as in like something that stops me.
Well, not necessarily stops you, but what's been that one thing that is always, lingering in the back of your mind and always just kind of, it's there, and you just, no matter what you do, you can't just shake that one thing off because it's always just kind of there. It's in the back of your mind, even if it's not, physically there or, actually tangibly there. It's still always in the back of your mind and always kind of holds you back.
I can be a bit of a perfectionist sometimes with what I'm doing, and then like, for example, I'll work on a track and I'll stay on this one track for a lot longer than I should be, whereas I could just be releasing more and more music. I end up taking a longer time between my releases. It's something I gotta work on, to be honest. I gotta know like there's a thing, like I mix my own music, right? So there's like a saying that goes around in like the whole mixing community that like you're never gonna get the perfect mix because you're always gonna find something you want to change. So that's something I gotta learn. Like I gotta just be happy with the mix. Once I'm happy with it, let's go. Let's master it. Let's put it out.
So you do a lot of the stuff yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who's your supporting? You talked about your family.
Mm-hmm.
You talked about your girl.
Mm-hmm.
But how about from the production standpoint? Who has been your cast?
Yeah. So
Your entourage.
in terms of beats, I found like a few producers online. I'm working one-on-one with the producer right now. In terms of just making music together, I have my friends that come to my studio all the time. We bounce off ideas from each other. We listen to different beats. They're like, oh, yo, you could do something sick with this beat, or maybe not this beat, or try this flow. You know what I mean? We just bounce ideas off each other. Talk about different lyrical content that would be good for that particular song, how to release it. I have a friend that does exceptionally crazy cover art, so he's been helping me with the cover art. And yeah.
That's mad dope. Then I'm not done grilling. We got a couple more questions to go, but we are going to take a break, and you do have that intro for us. So we'll be back, guys, after the break.
All right, cool.
This is Urban Definition. Urban Definition. On CHHA 1610.
Welcome back. How you guys doing so far? I feel like I'm talking way too much between the three of us here.
Well, I mean, hey, you got the questions you wanted to ask. It's a good thing.
Is it a good thing though? I mean, I don't like. I'm pretty sure he doesn't like the sound of my voice. He's just like, yo, this guy, this hush your mouth.
Why you grilling me, for?
Yo, okay. So the last question I had in terms of grilling, if you will. And I'm not trying to grill you. I'm just trying to get down so that people can get a better sense of who you are and try to help, because that's like the biggest thing in this day and age with hip hop is that people like the ability to connect with who they're listening to. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Yeah. So I guess my last question, and this is going to be a big one. Top 5 all-time chronological order. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. 5. I'm gonna give it to. I'd say Eminem.
Really, all the way down at 5.
Because there's a few like I'm thinking in terms of like how much they influenced me.
I'm about to go Zayn talk. I call this the Zayn talk right here. Yo, man's them be like, yo, man's talking about like the most influential rappers starting at 5.
Man's only were here listening to Eminem for the first time when he was how old? Grade 4.
All right, continue.
No, you know how I'm gonna switch Nas to 5.
Oh,
I'll put Eminem at 4.
Okay.
I'll put probably Jay-Z at 3.
All right.
I'll put, for me, this is all for me. It's not like in general.
You're talking about
this is
yourself.
for
'Cause
me.
I'm already suspect on your list.
There's I'll put J. Cole at 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And 5, once again, just because I saw the concert like 2 times in a row, I gotta give it to Drake. For number 1, I mean.
I feel so dirty doing this right now, but I have to do it because he is Canadian. But nah, Drake really number 1.
Man, like, cause he's so influential, like just to the city, to the different types of music, and just again, cause I've been to his concert twice, so I'm hype. I'm just really hype about him right now.
But you got to realize this is also a new day and age in hip hop too. This is not the same Nas, Jay-Z era or Eminem and the whole Shady Records thing.
We ain't gonna get into that talk right now, because my whole philosophy is that Drake is not hip hop. Drake is R&B.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. See.
You guys have this conversation after the show.
Yeah.
Well, they got so much time.
But I am told, talking about that lyrical genius and the difference between R&B and hip hop, and you are, Mr. Man, a hip hop,
Yes, sir.
lyrical and producer. We gonna test your skills.
Okay.
We gonna get it. We gonna get it. So what I would like to, unfortunately, I ain't got a beat, but all the greatest rappers out there are able to do it straight off the dome.
Yeah, I'll just do something quick. It's quick acapella.
All right, all you let us know when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah. Let's go.
All right, all you, man.
All right. Homie, I played it back like a replay. Float when I hit him with a bee sting. coast when I flow. Wanna be trying to hold on to me? You're a joke, you're a weak thing. Now there's no point arguing with me. Killing quick, that's a bargain to me. Cause I don't got the time or the peace of mind to play nice. Don't get started with me, I'm 23, no memories. Trying to move ahead with this melody, but that Hennessy got me feeling nauseous. I ain't giving warnings, no word of caution. Graduated, came back in May. Thought I'd take a break, might packed away, but I second guessed and I put away that piece. Then I went back to slaying every rapper and trapper that tried to step into my way on the pad of the throne. They pushing me back in my zone. I got studio flow with a shot of Patron. Saga thing popping. I work the whole winter and now in the summer I'm out with a banger. Every track is a bullet. The trigger I pull it. I swear I'ma empty the chamber. You all be in danger. Woo!
Yo,
be quiet,
DJ,
them
yo, DJ, hit that one more time, please. Yo, that was mad. That was mad dope. That was really good.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I got Zayn over here fucking vibing to what you're saying there. Zayn's just like going off. He's just dancing.
I was feeling that, man. That was sick.
That was funny. That was good. You were dope. He was funny. So, please tell us, not just us, but all of the listeners and the world, how do we keep in touch? How do we follow your journey?
Okay, so you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and SoundCloud. So Instagram is @JordanRayMusic, Twitter is @JordanRayMusic. SoundCloud is soundcloud.com/JordanRayMusic. That's where you can find all my music and download it. It's all free downloads. And just Snapchat, it's just Jordan Ray C.
Dope.
Yeah.
So you have brought a special gift for us.
Yeah.
And I did sample it. These guys were looking at me like I was a crazy man because what I did was during our second break while we were going out, I played a little jingle. I played a little tip of it.
Yeah, I was like that for
But
yeah.
please tell us, first of all, introduce the track for us, send your shout outs, and then we'll get to our track.
Okay, so this song is called Call Me. It's the most recent track I have on my SoundCloud right now. I just put it out. Again, free download, soundcloud.com/JordanRayMusic. Yeah, you can play it.
Dope. Let's get to it.
Yeah, I'm the boy in the backstreet. Thought I'd take it to the backseat. No, she rather take a taxi. Like Jordan, you can never ever have me. I guess no Uber, but I don't wanna lose her. How I'm gonna scoop her? Come through on a late night, get it done on the same night, but it ain't right, so I gotta wait right. She won't give up for me. Any other man couldn't live up to me. I keep it 100 and they ain't up to speed. Keep it real, baby girl, is that enough to be with me? You tell me that's a no-go, but she got a on a ting like a pogo. Tryna pull a bat like a yo-yo. Man, this girl got me shook, snow globe. Yeah, so call me. Give me one chance, you gotta get to know me. And we don't gotta rush, we can take it slowly. But we up all night and we getting no sleep. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me. Think about it, we could be a good tag team. Running this thing like we athletes. Kobe and Shaq, I got your back. You just better have mine, and that's the last time I ask. Oh, you like it when I'm serious? You got a look in your eyes, I know you're curious. Well, baby, I ain't like them other mans out there. For you, I'd do anything to stand out. I'ma be honest, I ain't looking for a handout. You want me to work, but low-key, I just want you to twerk. They say treat a girl right, cause the formula works. So I be opening doors and even putting you first. I'll be paying for dinner, I'll even pull out your chair. And maybe later that night, I could pull on your hair. Have your ass up, booty way up in the air. That you feel so blessed, baby, no stress, yeah. So call me. Give me one chance, you gotta get to know me. And we don't gotta rush, we can take it slowly. But we up all night and we getting no sleep. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me, yeah. So call me. Hey, yeah. Call me. Woo. Yeah. Call me. Yeah. Call me. Yeah. Hey. Call me. Give me one chance, you gotta get to know me. And we don't gotta rush, we can take it slowly. But we up all night and we getting no sleep. Give
Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me. Call me, give me a chance, you gotta get to know me. And we don't gotta rush, we can take it slowly. But we up all night and we getting no sleep, no sleep. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me, yeah. Give it up for me, she made me work too hard. Give it up for me.
Mr. Jordan Ray, it has been an absolute pleasure having you on air with us. I hope this has been as fun for you as it has been for us.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, it's been crazy. I appreciate it.
Even though I spent so much time grilling you.
Nah, like, it's all personal preference on the hip-hop list, so it's all good.
And before you go, I do want to ask again, how do people follow the journey?
Yeah, so once again, facebook.com/Jordan Ray Music. Twitter and Instagram are at Jordan Ray Music. Snapchat is Jordan Ray C. And SoundCloud, where you can download all my music, is soundcloud.com/Jordan Ray Music.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
Easy. So this is the part of the show where Mr. Zayn Jinnah tells us about what's going on this weekend in the city.
All right, very quickly, guys. We got Taste of the Danforth coming up on Friday to Sunday.
Is it already that time?
Yeah.
Wow.
The year has just flown by. So we got Taste of the Danforth, best of Greek cuisine all over Danforth, from wherever Greek Town starts to wherever it ends.
Yeah, so that's Danforth. That's basically like Broadview till about Paper Castlefield.
Yeah, Pape. For on Saturday, you got Summerworks, which I have no idea what that is, but it says it plays. There's a festival celebrating the original scriptwriter with plays in public places. So if you want to check something out, do that. And on Sunday, I guess we got more of that stuff in Taste of the Danforth. Not a lot going on this weekend, but if you're around the city, go check it out.
Not a lot? There's the Olympics starting.
I'm talking about in the city, not
Zayn
outside of the
is
city.
talking
I
about.
know, but still, this is huge.
I don't know why Sassan brought up the Olympics. Actually, that's not in Toronto. That's not what's going on this weekend. That's what's on
Canada's
TV.
gonna be in it.
Like Pogo, get away from the TV and go outside.
Oh my gosh, why?
Guys, as per usual, please do not drink and drive. Have a safe weekend, and yeah, just be safe, guys.
Take
Peace.
care.
Bye.
CHHA.
This is Urban Definition.